afternoon, I'm Alex Tremaine and I'm an old man who builds Gundam. I hope everybody is having a tolerable weekend in this miserable sweltering weather that exists in the UK at the moment. I don't know what it's like for other people elsewhere, but currently the UK is over 20 degrees, which is frankly panic stations for most of us. I know that doesn't sound like much to a lot of you, I imagine, but here in the UK, 20 plus degrees is definitely panic stations. So I am here with the window open and a fan on, so if there's a bit of background noise, then I'm just going to apologise for that at the moment. So yeah, I might be a little less enthusiastic than normal today. The temperature is getting to me. I've been slow doing everything all day, so we'll see how things go. Ooh, what I am gonna do is put the extended battery into the top-down camera so that it doesn't fail halfway through the stream, because that would be really embarrassing. Right, so I know I said that I'd get back to the full armor master grade unicorn, but we're not. We're continuing with the PG Banshee Norn because I want to. And yeah, I think that's everything. No, sorry. You can find me on Twitter at TremaineAlex. You can follow me there for up to the minute information about when streams are or are not happening. I normally stream Thursday evening and Saturday evenings, UK time, but the Thursdays have been a bit spotty recently due to real life and things. I'm hoping that this week everything will be back to normal. But we're here, it's Saturday, it's too fucking warm, and we've got a perfect grade to build, so let's go with this thing. So when last we left, there were legs. These are quite funky. We have some nice interesting articulation on the knees here. Looking forward to seeing how that manifests on the once it's fully armoured. And then we have this is part of the destroy mode transformation here. So we're going to continue on with this. Move these out of the way for the moment so that they can't hurt anybody. So yeah, today has been busy-ish in that I got up before noon so that I could take advantage of it not being too fucking warm, and go out and do some priming on the master grade Banshee that I've done previously. So hopefully there will be some progress on that in the future. But in the meantime, we're going to get on with this. Hey Shitty, hope you're doing alright. If anybody's not familiar, Shitty is also a streamer. You can find him at ShittyPopu on Twitch. We've literally just finished watching him finishing off the real grade Sinanju, which appears to be some variety of hand grenade of falling apartness, but it looks fucking good. Very shiny plastic on that one. Odd. I get so used to the sort of matte or satin finish. It's a bit weird when the plastic is like actually shiny, like it is on the Sinanju. So where even are we with this kit? So we just finished getting these little sections here fitted. So we've done that on both legs, which means the next step is so we've done this, we've put these on, so the next step must be this, which is I5 and D16 and 17. Okay. So, Sprue Eye, where do you live? M1 Sprue Eye is this one. So we've got Sprue I5 and I6. So I6 must be the one for the other leg. So we're going to do both of these at the same time while we're here. But we're going to do them one at a time so that I don't get them mixed up. So this is I5. So I hope everybody's had a lovely yeah, concentrating the heat is just not a doable thing. Yeah, I as I have grown older, I have discovered that when I am warm, I will occasionally just fall asleep. And that isn't helpful. So, yes. Today we are going to take it easy. It's warm. We are going to attempt to stay chilled and relaxed, but not so relaxed that I fall asleep. Obviously, if I do fall asleep, I apologise. Somebody will come by and turn the stream off and wake me up. But I'm doing alright at the moment. I did not make the mistake of having... I sensibly had a large meal for a late lunch, so I'm not in danger of hitting any kind of carb crash anytime soon. We had some really nice Aberdeen Angus burgers for lunch. Deal on at Costco this week, and I could not resist. So Aberdeen Angus burgers became the tool for the job. So I had those with brioche buns and Stilton. Which is just how I like my burgers. And yeah. Other than that, as I say, I nipped out sort of around 9 o'clock-ish. 9, 10, no, it was close to 10 o'clock I guess, this morning, and did some priming with the airbrush in the garage. Still getting used to that, but I think I'm getting the hang of it. Guess we'll see when I put the colour coat on. And then I played some Satisfactory this afternoon, and now we're here. So tomorrow morning I am going to nip out there and put some colour on the parts I primed, which means I have to decide what colour I am going to put on the parts I primed. Yep, it was definitely the right call, Shitty. I would not be going out there now. If I'd left it, then it just wouldn't be happening at all. Strongly recommend an early start at the moment, because it is not nice outside. And yeah, my setup does seem to have turned out well. It's literally just an actual original Black & Decker workmate, like one of the one of the first versions. I mean, I know they still make workmates, but this was one of the ones that was bought. This was bought back when they released them in the first place. So what are we doing with this? This is... Oh, I see. Right. Let's go in there. Like so. So it's you know, it's about... I was going to say it's about half my age, but that's just not true. It's probably about 3/4 my age, because it was my dad's originally, and he bought it late 80s, early 90s. We've had it a long time, but yeah, it's literally just a piece of cardboard on top of that to jab the skewers with crocodile clips on the end of them into. So, oh, okay, that's fine. And to jab the skewers with crocodile clips into, and then the just the little doohickey for holding the airbrush is just clamped to the end of it, which is, you know, it does the job. So tomorrow we'll find out if I can get a decent finish with colour on the with the airbrush. I'll try and take some photos and get those up on stream somewhere. I'll post them to Twitter and things. I will render what assistance I can, Shitty, but, you know, bear in mind that before last weekend I had never even held an airbrush, so... And I know you have operated airbrushes in the past, so you're probably a little ahead of me on that front. In other news, caught up a bit on wrestling this week. There was a Stardom. So let's we don't even know which leg this is. We'll find out in a minute. So this is the leg we're actually supposed to be doing at the moment. And this is the leg that we're doing at the same time because why not? So there has been some wrestling fun. Caught up on some wrestling during the week. So we need D16 and 17. to these two. Yeah, caught up on some wrestling during the week. Got through a few Stardom shows, which is nice. There was a big pay-per-view today, which I am now thoroughly spoiled on, deliberately, because there's no way I'm going to make it until the pay-per-view's available, and I've watched all the other shows that precede it that I haven't watched yet, before I get spoiled. So I spoiled myself on the results this morning, and they are largely satisfactory. I don't imagine that we've got many, if any, people here who watch Stardom, but if you do, I'm going to spoil this morning's pay-per-view. So there was a match at the last pay-per-view where a match, an interfaction match between between Stars, who are a shiny babyface faction, and Oedo Tai, who are not, who are very much a heel faction. 5-on-5 elimination tag match with the stipulation that the last member of the losing team to be eliminated. So essentially, when the match, whoever gets pinned to finish the match has to join the opposing faction. And Oedo Tai won that match at the last pay-per-view, and then they offered Stars the opportunity to go again to try and win their faction member back, and they said, of course we will win our faction member back, and that match was today, and they did not win their faction member back. So they've now lost 2 faction members. They were already down. They lost 1 faction member to Oedo Tai to betrayal a couple of months ago. She turned heel and joined Oedo Tai of her own free will. They lost another faction member to Oedo Tai last year, January last year, also to betrayal. They've had to, Mayu Otani, the leader of Stars, has had to recruit extra people from other promotions to help fight these matches because they're losing so many people. And today they lost essentially Star's second in command, Starlight Kid, Mayu's protege, one of the most baby faces of baby faces in Stardom, has now been lost to Oedo Tai. And I am very interested to see what they do with her. Whether she's going to be whether she's going to appear to be under duress as a member of Oedo Tai, whether she's just gonna, well, this is it here now, guess I've got to try and fit in kind of thing, or whether we're going to see something in between. It's interesting because so 16 is this one, So this is going on this side. Yes, like so. It's interesting because over the last little while, Starlight Kid has been, particularly in a feud with another babyface faction, Starlight Kid has been showing a very sort of bratty, mean girl, for want of a better description, side of herself. Being kind of a dick. Not enough to, you know, really be considered a heel, but certainly enough to be in certain matches to definitely be the heel of that match. Yeah, so I'm really interested to see whether they lean into this opportunity to really have Starlight Kid go off the rails, now that she's no longer got to fit in with sparkly stars. Yeah, I mean, I know what you mean about Owens and Zayn. And, you know, Stars at Stardom, their roster isn't huge. I mean, it's not small. There's sort of like about 30 wrestlers on their roster. But it does mean that you've actually, generally you get to see a lot of repeat matchups. So there's got to be a little bit of, there's got to be some way of sort of freshening things up. And moving people between factions is one of the way they do it. They've had a couple of drafts in the past to move people around. They're not afraid to dissolve factions. 2 factions have been dissolved in the last couple of years. They're not afraid to make new ones. We've had one of the factions that dissolved only was new, sort of only a year or so beforehand. We've had 2 new factions in the last sort of 18 months. Yeah, so moving people around is a good way to freshen up characters and freshen up feuds. So it'll be interesting to see what a heel Starlight Kid looks like. And to see, you know, what she wrestles like against people she's wrestled many times before. You know, this will be her endless, presumably eternal feud with Azumi. It'll be interesting to see what that looks like with her wrestling with Starlight Kid as a heel, because that matchup is sort of historically, Azumi generally takes the sort of heel-ish. I mean, it's not strictly a face-heel dynamic, that one in the past, but Azumi normally leans more towards the heel side in those particular matches. She's not a heel per se, but for those matches she leans that way, you know. So yeah, I'm very keen to see how this goes. There were a bunch of other matches, several of which were really important. We had the final of this year's Cinderella tournament. There was also a World of Stardom title match, both of which largely went the way I expected them to. Or rather, yeah, mostly the way I expected them to. Which isn't a bad thing. People often say it's really good to have surprises, and it is. It can be really good to have surprises, but if you told your story well, then people will enjoy the expected, narratively sensible finish to the end to your story, whether it's a surprise or not. And I like the fact that Stardom aren't afraid to just go, well, this is what we were leading to. Everybody knows this is what we were leading to. Let's do what makes sense in the story. Just kind of what I like to see. But yes, I won't go too much further into that. I'm looking forward to seeing the matches. It'll be a little while before they're up on Stardom World, but by the same token I've still got nearly 10 shows to watch on Stardom World before I'm caught up, so that's not really a huge problem. In the meantime, I need to think of what colour I'm actually going to paint the Master Grade Banshee tomorrow. It's the main outer armour that I'm painting, which as standard is exactly this colour, because it's the Banshee. So I don't know what, I haven't quite decided what colour I'm going with. I'm thinking I might go with red. I think a red Banshee might be interesting, but I'm not 100% settled yet. I need to look at the yeah, I'm not doing anything with the I'm not going to change the colour of the translucent parts. They are, as is the case with this kit, the translucent and UV active, so I'm not going to fuck around with something that's already really cool. Whereas this dark blue is a little, I don't know, it just doesn't, the dark blue doesn't show detail well, I think is the problem. It really hides a lot of the interesting line of the model. Because it's so dark, it makes panel lining almost pointless on the Banshee, so I want something that's going to have a little bit more contrast for panel lining purposes. So I think red with the translucent yellow kind of works. Though green is also tempting, but I'm not sure. Just not sure. I think red might be more striking. And I don't think I've seen a red unicorn yet. So red to green. Yeah, I'm gonna I don't think I'm going to try experimenting with sort of colour fades as yet on anything I'm doing. Shitty. I'm gonna get used to using the airbrush to deliver me some nice flat block colours first, and then I'll work on learning how to do more interesting effects after that. But I've got a little sort of selection of basic Vallejo acrylic colours to work with, so I will pick something interesting from that pack. To work with. Right, so that is this section done for both legs. So we're moving on to put those over there for a moment. So we're moving on to this. So we need P11. Where is Sprue P? He asks himself. Sprue P is up here. So P11. This down here. Right, none of this is going to be visible, which is always nice, which means I can not fuck about with it. So P11 goes on here like so. Which means the same thing, which is P12. Going to go on here. is going to go on the other leg, but it will presumably have that like that. Yes, that makes sense. So these are, yes, mirror images. Excellent, though that isn't. There it goes. That's better. Right, so that's that, and then we've got to do. What do we want to do first? Do this first. Should I have Q4? Let's have a look at Q4. Where's sprue Q? There are two sprues Q. So Q4 is this. Oh, all of these undergates, I love them so much. They make life so much easier. I don't know who came up with the undergating idea, but it was whoever did was whoever did come up with undergating is a fucking hero in my opinion. It just makes life so much easier. That just didn't come clean at all. There we go. Where's the last piece here? There we go. Right, so this apparently goes on here like so. But we're only doing that outside one at the moment, or inside one. I don't know which leg we're doing right this second. We're doing one of them. Right leg by the look of it. So that all goes like that. I think we're going to go all the way through. Let's finish this and then we can make decisions. Okay, so K1 D15. K is this sprue. A1 and D 15. D 15. There it is. So these aren't going to be seen, so we can do that without worrying. These are undergated, which, as we've previously mentioned, is the best thing that they've ever done with these things. That is quite alright, Shitty. You consume food. As I say, I didn't eat till I had lunch at like 2 o'clock, and it was these. I had 2 enormous 6-ounce Aberdeen Angus burgers with Stilton on, so hunger is not really a thing I'm feeling right now, nor do I expect to feel it. It was a most satisfying meal, but it did mean that I'm just not going to need to eat for the rest of the day. Yes, absolutely. I do not feel hungry in the same way when it's this kind of insane temperature outside and inside. Inside is more particularly the problem at the moment. I kind of miss Greg's. There's a Greg's literally sort of 2 minutes walk from my office. I don't miss the fact that I used to go to Greg's far too often, and therefore not eating at Greg's a couple of times a week for lunch has saved me a lot of money over the last couple of years, over the last year and a bit, 18 months nearly now, I guess. Yeah, so there's a Greg's, a Subway, and a Tesco, and I mean there's like 3 different supermarkets. There's a Tesco in Iceland and Wilkinson's, but there is a Greg's and a Subway, and the ability to go, today Subway, or today random pasty is can be problematic. So this is going on here. Yes. And then this is going on here, like so. So yes, this is the right leg. That much we know. Which means this one needs Q5. To go on the outside. Yes, they're very sturdy. The joints are really quite stiff, whereas on some of the smaller kits you've got these the flexi soft rubber or soft rubbery plastic. So for every, rather than having just one of those for each joint, what they have is on one side they have some of that, and then on the other hand side they have these hard plastic versions of them that are higher friction and really stiffen the joint up. So yeah, these are, I mean, this is not moving without you actually making it move. But yeah, sometimes you can't see. It takes a while for you to see how it's going to come together into the thing that you're expecting it to look like. 'Cause it doesn't always instantly look like the thing that you're expecting it to look like when it starts out. And there's occasionally just these hidden details that unless you're looking really closely you're never going to see, but you know they're there because you put them in when you built them. I think the Zeta is the one that was really the yeah, because that movement is not, it's not difficult, but it's not gonna, you know, now it's in that position, it's not going to move on its own without some input, you know. So we'll do that, and then we need K1 and whatever the opposite of D15 is. But we need the K1 that's on the other sprue, which is this one. These are ungated. I think they've obviously thought about the fact that there's going to be that with these models there's going to be, with these perfect grades, there's going to be a lot more, there's both a lot more mass and leverage that's going to be sort of having an effect, and that these joints are going to have to deal with, you know, because all of the limbs are that much longer. I feel like it feels like sort of physical size wise, the difference between a master grade and a between like a high or regular grade, a 144 scale, the difference between a 144 scale and a 1/100 scale feels less than the difference between a 1/100 and a 160. That step up from 1/100 to 160 feels like a bigger step, even though I don't think it really is. But as I say, at the end of the day, it's still all the same process. So I would recommend to anybody who's got even just a couple of kits under their belt to if they can afford it, consider a perfect grade, because they're great fun. The only thing the only recommendation I'd say is maybe don't do what I did and don't make the Zeta your first perfect grade. It's fine if you do, but the Zeta is very much a step further. Not in detail or anything, but just they tried a lot of shit in the Zeta that they don't appear to have necessarily implemented in anything else. There's a whole bunch of tiny springs and tiny screws holding bits of the Zeta together. That's part of the build, you know. Yeah, it's also a lot of faff. Right, so this, there we go. So that's left leg and right leg done up until this point. Right. What do we got next? Right, I think at this point we're going to stop building these legs in tandem and actually follow the instructions. I'm going to have a bit of a drink first. At some point I really must remember to get out the Zeta came with a light up beam saber, believe it or not, with a special funky battery that fits in the handle of the beam saber. Never been able to get it to work properly. It looks like it'll be really cool if I can. Never been able to get it to work properly, so I need to get that out and have another go at it. See if I can get that to do what it's supposed to do. So here we go, P3 and P7. This is sprue P over here. So P3 and P7. Again, nothing in here is going to be visible, so we can just take these off and not worry about it too much. So that's P3 and P7. We need PC8, which is one of these. So PC8. So this goes into that goes in there like that. Then we need H24. Where's sprue H? This is sprue H. H24 is this one. H24. So H24 goes in this way round, like so, and then this connects up like that, and then we take one of our hip joints, and this apparently goes in there like that. Yeah, I don't know if you can see the effort with which I'm trying to move these joints, but they let's just say that they hold their own. So there we go, that's one created. And you know what, I think we'll put this over here, but I think we will also build the other one of these. No, let's be good at this point. I think we've pushed our luck as far as we can push it. I-13, D9. I is this one. I-13. We will also get I-14, apparently. I-13 and I-14 while we're at it. So I-13... nice undergates here. I think this really matters, but I don't think this is in any way, shape or form going to be visible, but we'll do a little bit of tidying up there just anyway. Right, so that's I3, and then we need D9 and D4, so D4 is this one. Goes with that, and then D9 9. D9 is that one. Do D9 first, and again, everything is under gates. So this clips on here like so. Put that up here. And this again, all nicely undigated. I don't know if it's because there's more room to do undergates on the perfect grades, or if the fact that the perfect grades are going to make them more money and they're more of a prestige product, that they're more willing to do undergates on the newer perfect grades, or if it's just to do with age. There weren't very many undergates on the Zeta. There were very few undergates, if any, on the Strike Rouge that I built, but it's almost nothing but undergates on this kit, which is awesome. And I don't know, as I say, I don't know if it's just because this kit is newer, or if they're just willing to do it more because it's a more expensive kit, or what. But more like this, please. Is what it comes down to. Very glad of the undergating here, he says, stabbing himself in the finger on these horrific concave curves. Perfect. That's what we like to see. And then this clips on here, like so. And then we're moving down here. Let's get some more liquid in me. So T1 11 and 12 and T1 3. Which one's a T1? These are T1. So T1 11 and 12 are here. And T1 3. T1 3 is this. Snippety snip. Do we need anything else from T1? Yes, we need T1 2 as well, which is this one. So everything that is for the moment. We will need the last thing on T1 for the next step, but that's not quite yet. So okay, these are I think anything here is going to be visible once the kit's built, so I won't be doing anything in the way of sanding here. So I'm just going to smooth that off a little bit. Right. There we go. So, what is going on here with this? So this is this. Oh, I see. Right. So that goes together, and then this. Clips over the top like so. And then this will then presumably be able to slide up and hinge like so. Interesting. Right, and then T2, sorry, T1, 2. Will go, so step 1 is this into here. Step 2 is D14, which is this one. Good. D14. Undergates, as far as the eye can see. go. So this is part 2, and it's going on here. Like so. So that can hinge. Like it. Then we need F12 and F10. There are 2 sprues F, and we need F12 and F10. Right. Okay, so this is not an undergate. This is. And this is. Right. Let's just take that off the inside there. I kind of hate the fact that it's nearly 8:30 at night here and it is still fucking roasting. I am not designed for this kind of weather in any way, shape or form. I am too well insulated. I am designed for the world to be. I'm designed for the temperature to top out at kind of 15 degrees. And it is way more than that here. Right, so what's this one? This one is going on here like so. And then this is doing the same on the other side. Excellent. There it is. There was another one. So tomorrow we get to find out whether I am actually capable of successfully piloting an airbrush in a way that leaves us with correctly coloured parts. Attempt to remember to post some progress shots to Twitter on that one, so that you can all see my shame. I wouldn't want anybody to miss out on the amusement of the results of my neophyte painting attempts. Hey, that's what I was looking for this to come up like. Perfect. Right. And then this fits on this side. Like so. So we have a hinged part, and then we have the extendy, even more hinged part. There we go. So that's now built. What's next? More T1. Oh no, there is another part on here. So T14. I'm just getting ready to throw this sprue away. There is just this one part remaining. T19 for the future. So T14 is going to be, none of these nub marks are going to be visible, so we can just take them straight off. And not worry about them. So T14 goes like that. K3. K is, there are two sprues K. And K3 is this one. It's interesting, there is some degree of similarity. There are parts I'm seeing here, like for example this one, that are very similar, and a lot of what's going along here, which are very similar to how these parts are on the master grade. So this and this and this all very similar. This is completely different to how the master grade goes together. So what are we looking at here? That's this way round. So step 1 is that goes in there. Step 2 is F13. We also need F8. No, that's D. So we need F13, which is this one. We need F8, which is this one. Right. That sprue really is dead. So I will put that over there where it can't hurt anyone. And then let's do these. Off. That one we will tidy up. I don't think it's going to be visible, but there might be angles from which it is, so they definitely have to account for the change in size, but they definitely have accounted for the change in size, is what it comes down to. Somebody had that thought. Right, so then this. Oh, hey, look at this. Something that isn't an undergate. Gotten so used to almost everything being undergates on here. Yeah, the Sinanju, the real grade Sinanju seems to be a bit of an aberration, to be perfectly honest. I mean, not entirely. I mean, this ankle unit here on the master grade versions of the Unicorn and the Banshee, really weak. On this, rock solid. Not weak as in falling apart, but weak as in moves too easily on the master grade. And it's it's just a weird little disappointment on an otherwise very nice kit. So not everything's perfect, but they clearly have much higher quality, or that's not true. They clearly, what's a nice way of saying it? No, let's be brutal. They know people are spending a lot of money on these perfect grades, and they've clearly put the quality control in on them. Certainly, I mean, this is the third perfect grade I've built, and quality control on this has been very good. You know, they've clearly there has been nothing on this that I've had to adjust, fettle, tweak, and that's the same across the other two perfect grades I did. There was nothing that needed sort of tweaking or making to fit on those. I would say the other kits where that has been true are the Master Grade Rezel was just went together exactly the way you wanted it to, just as it came, no problems whatsoever, and that was a fairly complex kit. You know, that Rezel, there was a lot of that Rezel, frankly. That was an awful lot of model for a Master Grade. Right, that goes together, and then this clips on here. There we go, and we have a kneecap. And that extends, and that twists, and this hinges. Everything moves around. So yeah, it's very variable. I would say the real grade new is another one that was just flawless out of the box. The real grade unicorn was pretty good. What else have I built? I'd say all three perfect grades were fine straight out of the box. The Master Grade unicorns are the only ones sort of that I really have anything negative to say about, and that's just a few. As I say, it feels like quality control and slight weakness in the ankles on those. So that is everything. That is everything up to here. Right. So this is where it gets interesting, because this is where we apparently get to get the LED kit out. So let's get the box of delights. And this was why I wanted to put that down there for a second. Get these right. This is why I wanted to pause on doing both legs at the same time, so that I could make sure that everything on the LED section of this process goes the way it should do. So we need G, LED set G. So we have B, we have E, we have F, we have G, and there is an H. There is also a C, but it's in a different pack. So we have LED set G. Which we will take out. So we hinge this like so. We then apparently separate it and hinge it all the way like so. That makes sense. So then we've got, we're putting G2 this way round so these have got the LEDs on the end here and LED on the other side. So this is going G2 is going in here. Like so. Is it going just all the way in? I guess so. Yep. We are going to just use a thing. Right, so that sits in there like that. Then we are taking this out of the way for a second. These wires here. Where is the tool? Here is the tool. So this wire here. Let's just move that up out of the way. This wire here goes in this little runner here, and then on the other side this wire goes this little runner. And that keeps them out of the way of that. So let's get this out of the way. Let's be doing it this way round. So this then goes good grief, this is fiddly. Oh, for God's sake. Get in. Yes, in there, like that. Good grief. Get the LED kiss, I said. It'll be fun. I apologise if it's not tremendously clear what's occurring here, but right, we've got one side done like that. Let's do the other side in the same way. Stay. Good grief. There. Right. Stay there for a second while I get the rest of the length in. Aha! It's a bit easier the second time once you realise what you're up to. And then this then clips in here, like so. This one clips in here. Right, so we're following this route here. We now have a lighting unit that's mostly going the same route. I'm just hoping that I've actually got enough on the end here for wherever it's supposed to go. Ah, I think I can see where it's going. Okay, so this, so this, we are this way round, so this one is going this way. I'm going to keep it out of the way like that. This is now coming back together there. This goes into that slot on the front, that way round. And that then closes up like that. This follows okay. This follows up here. Okay. Good grief. Yeah, you're not wrong, Shitty. The wiring does indeed look fun. Looks can be deceiving. No, this is... It's fiddly, but it is going... it is, broadly speaking, doing what it's supposed to. It is just, unfortunately, fiddly as all get out. But I think we are getting there. So this then, but why? Okay. I mean, I guess if that's really what you want it to do, then I guess we can do that. You know what? Well, not, but okay. Come on. In you go. Ah, there we go. It's 1/2 of that into that slot. Once 1/2's in, should be slightly easier. There it is. Right, so this is supposed to go through that's supposed to sit in here. So this, there it is. That can sit like that. And then this is supposed to go up here. Again, we are going to do this. There we go. There, right. That's supposed to then go like that. Right. Wiring. That matches the diagram. Good grief. Right. So, what's next? Next, we turn a page. Okay, so one. Okay, so Q5 we need. Let's do this way. So we need Q5, and that is because we are going to cover this bit of wiring up, which I thoroughly approve of, because hopefully once this part's in place, it'll stop that wiring moving around any. Which will make me very happy. For all I'm complaining a little bit about this, the LED kit has been, you know, it's fiddly, but it's essentially worked exactly the way it's said it's going to work. Every time it's come up, which, you know, is frankly not bad going. So we need to tweak that up. Clip that in place. Part 3. We can do 3 is this little cap piece that goes on the back. Oh. This is more brain than I was hoping to use this evening, I'm going to be honest. Right. Right, so this clips this way up on the back here, like so, covering there. Excellent. So that was 3. 4 was straightening it up. Then we take this, which way? Close look at the documentation. This way round. Okay, into here. So that needs to come out that way. So let's do this. goes like that. And then this slots in here. And this clips in to, let's just make sure that's all the way in. Is this then clips in here like so. So that fits like that. And 6 is we raise that up. Seven is to put this on that side, like so. Eight is this goes there. You know what, let's do, yeah, let's do this. Okay. So that lives there like so. This is coming out the top the way it should be. And we need to add D5 and D8, which are on here. So this is D5. And this one is D8. So So D5 is the next step. We are now out of the wiring exclusive part of the process. I do like the way it's all clearly marked anything that is wiring related, and I do appreciate that the wiring stuff is in the main manual and it's not a case of having to read through two manuals to keep track of what wiring stuff needs doing. I had gone into this before I opened the box, because there is a set of instructions that comes with the wiring as well. And before I opened the box of the actual Banshee, I was sure that I was going to be having to deal with two completely separate sets of instructions. So, okay, interesting. Something we are going to do just slightly, just give a little touch more there before we put this back. On. Okay, so this goes on like so. This is beginning to resemble an actual leg. Shocking, I know, but it was bound to happen eventually. It does already have the heels. You're not wrong. Hey Harry, how you doing? How far have you got through your boxes and boxes of high grades that you were expecting? I think when last we spoke, you'd had, I can't remember if you'd had any delivered or not, but I know you'd ordered sort of 5 or 6, I think, high grades to play with. Oh, barbecue sounds good. I nearly had a barbecue. I had some really nice burgers for lunch, and I toyed with getting the barbecue out to cook them on, but it was just way too much effort in the end. So I just did them in the grill, but they were still really, really nice. Right, so there we go. Upper leg complete, and if this works the same way previous unicorn kits I've had work, then this hinges very slightly and allows the joint to expand for the whole destroy mode part of the process. But we will leave that closed up for the moment. Well, this is the leg, and this is a 144 unicorn, so it's gonna be tall. I mean, here's the torso, so there's got to be a waist unit as well. So gonna be a foot tall at least, I would say. Oh yeah, they're huge compared to a 144. They're absolutely enormous perfect grades. They really are. Right, so we need K13 and K14. Which are these two here. There we go. K13 and 14. So I suspect these are not going to be visible. Or rather that these nub marks are not going to be visible. .87 centimeters. Yeah, that sounds plausible for a perfect grade. Yeah. No. 87 centimeters. No, that's the ridiculous scale ones. 1 to, yeah. I can't remember what they're called. But yes, I know the type you mean. They are phenomenally huge. Like extra special giant. So this goes on what does this do? Oh, I see. Yeah, so this goes here. I am confused. Ah, right. Yes, there we go. I see. I'm misunderstanding how that's going together. Right. So that goes on there like that. Then this fits on there like so. And hinges around like that. Excellent. So then we do one, oh, I see. One, two. Yeah. Uh, 140 nears the on 2 narrative car, 83 centimeters, 500. Uh-huh. Whoa. Yeah, that sounds like quite a thing. Or Harry, that I will have to have a poke around for that. When I'm done here. Right, so this then clips on like so, and this clips on the other side like so. And then this I see. Right, so we've got to get this a little bit further in. Ha! There we go. Right. Five, 6, 7, 8, 9. And that, people, suddenly became an entire leg. Look at that. That's rather sweet. Yep, it really is. Let's just do the again. There's the 144. Let's just move that down there a bit. So it comes up to its knee. So yeah, Yeah, I mean it's already a lot, frankly. Wow, that went from bits to being an entire leg very quickly at the end there. Just sort of putting together all the bits that I'd already built onto it, just became a whole leg in seconds. That's super cool. Right. What's next? Right, so next is the other leg. So that is actually a complete unit. The next step is the other leg. So what we're going to do at this point is, having put that together successfully, I've been running for 2 hours and 25 minutes apparently, somehow, and I've not taken a break yet. So, gonna go on break. I'm gonna get a fresh drink, gonna stretch my legs, cycle some fluids. Suggest you all do the same thing, and I'll be back here in 5 minutes-ish. I shall see you all shortly. Right, I'm back. The world is approaching a sensible temperature here now, which is nice, you know. But we have an actual completed leg here. So what we're going to do is move straight on to the second leg. Let's see if we can get the second leg complete tonight. I'm not sure we're going to, because it took us a while to get through this, but that said, we have already done a whole bunch of this section. A whole bunch of this section, he says. We have gone as far as here already. So we can start on this side. I'm going to put this leg somewhere where it can't hurt anybody, and more importantly, where I can't hurt it. So let's get the so just to confirm, yeah, we've done that. We've got this part on, we've got this on the top, that's in the right place. So yes, we are moving on to this section. P4 and P8, which are these two. We need H25, which is that. H25, and we need PC8, and that is on the that is PC8, the one we haven't used yet. Which is that one. These, none of these nub marks are going to be visible. Having installed this bespoke lighting unit into a large kit that's designed for it, I have a great deal of respect for the for people who manage to get who managed to install lighting units in, let's go in here, there it is, who managed to install lights into smaller kits that have never been designed for it and don't have the space, it's that's quite an achievement in my opinion. Because if this is how fiddly it is when you've got a kit that's designed for the whole process, I shudder to think how much of a pain in the neck it is if the kit isn't designed for it and you're just sort of installing lighting units from scratch. Right. So, this one, I12, D11, I15, D6. So we need sprue I, which is this one. So I12 and I15, which are these. These, so let's do that, and then this one. And we need D11 and D6, which are on here. So this is, yep, D6. And D11. one is the weird concave. Sections. I appreciate that these are under gates, but they're still kind of a bastard. I guess there's not a great deal of other options for them there. Right, so this clips into here like so. And we will just put that out. Put that where it can't do any harm. Ooh, I am super blurry. Let's just fix that. The autofocus on this camera sometimes just decides, nah, and stops working. But it's easily enough resolved. And this one just goes on here. Put that one out of the way. So what's next? What is next is D13, which is this one. F10 and F12. Which are on here. So it's F10. F12. Actually, we just need everything off here. Looking at this. Everything we don't need for this part, we need for the next part. So that is all of the second sprue F, but we do need sprue T1, of which we need T12, T12, T13, we will need T14 for the next part. leaving behind T19 as the sole remaining thing on that sprue. So, step 1. These, none of which are going to be visible, and therefore can safely be just cut close and not worried about. So then we clip this together. And clip it into here, such that it can extend like so, hinge, and then go back. So that sits in there. I think we need to have this 100%, but it's going to do a little bit there. Right, so this then clips on here, like so. And then these parts. Right. Where's the other? There it is. With the file. Perfect. This then clips on here like so. Where's the... There's another one, there it is. Right. Let's give these a polish. Frankly, probably being a bit over the top here, but could potentially be visible at various points. Some of it could anyway. Right. There's that. So that's this step. Next step is this, but we need K3 to help out, and that will be K3 on this sprue. Because we've already had the K3 off the other sprue K. Right. Let's clean all of that up. have something a little bit more perky than what we were getting there for a second. So step one is this way around, that into there. That up to do this. Tell you what, I have really enjoyed this build as far as it goes so far. Everything about it has just been really satisfying. As I say, I've been particularly pleased with how the there we go. Particularly pleased with how the Hoojit, whatchamacallit, with how the LED kit has gone together. That has been a pleasant surprise as far as I was expecting it to be. I was expecting it to be a real pain in the arse, but it's actually just been gone together pretty straightforwardly, which I am very grateful for. Right, let's get this. I am constantly amazed at the design work that must go into these to make them so complex and yet accessible at the same time. I don't know what their design process is like. I'm assuming there must be some kind of, there must be an awful lot of prototyping don't know what compromises are necessary in order to support the manufacturing process, you know. Do they start with a here's what we'd like, how can we make it work in the manufacturing side of things, or what? But it's real fucking good. Right, we have another shin and knee. What's next? What's next is the next page. Aha! What's next is we get to play with lights. So we need H. Lights H. So we start by doing this. And then we take part 2. This goes in apologies. Right, so this goes in like so. We know that goes off that way somewhere. And in the meantime, we get to have fun and games trying to get these cables to follow a clever little route inside these pieces of plastic. This was thrilling the first time, and I have no doubt that it will be thrilling the second time as well. This was actually the most difficult bit, if memory serves. first leg. There we go. Right. We have the tool. The tool is helpful. Somebody here in my vicinity somewhere is having a barbecue. And it smells fantastic. It makes me very, very glad that I had nice burgers for lunch. Because I would be really, really struggling right now if I had not had nice burgers for lunch. Yeah, I know what you mean, Shissy. I as I say, I very nearly went down the barbecue route for the burgers at lunchtime. We have got charcoal in. I could have cracked open the barbecue, but it would be you know, there's only the two of us, so it would have been setting up a barbecue for making 4 burgers, and that's a lot of effort to go to for 4 burgers. And we were already kind of hungry at that point. So we didn't in the end, but it was close. Come on, in you go. There it is. You can do it. Just go into the slot that you've been designed to fit into. Can't be that much of a challenge. There we go. Haha. That was a little easier than the first time round. So, next step, if memory serves, is which way round does this go in? This goes in this way. Like so. And then this, yes, remember, this goes in here, and then here, and then across here into this spudger. This came with the LED kit. It's really fucking good. Right, so that goes like that, correct. Then into this one. Right, so this was the one that was moderately challenging last time. Was the other awkward one. Which way is no? So we actually want it to go this way. Really? If we're honest. Come on. There we go. Right. One in. Once one is in, getting the other half in is less difficult. There we go. Right. Oh, for God's sake. Go where I tell you. You stupid cable. There. By Jove, I think we've got it. Excellent. Right, so this then gets to go in here, like so. I'm just going to give this then lives in here. Right. Victory. Good grief. So what's the next step? The next step is this bit. Oh yes. So this wants to come this way. Yes. Right, and then this clips in to that and runs up to the top. Right, victory. So that's that done. Next part is this little section. So we need that and that. Done. Is that done? This will need just a little touch with the knife before flattening off. Okay, so, and then this clips in place. To hide that section of cable, which is good. Stops it coming out of the tracks that it's been set down into, and then we just need to tidy up the nub marks on this. Go. Right, so if memory serves, the slot needs to be at the top, like so. Then we can straighten that up again Right. So we popped that in. We need to lift that up, secure that in place. Clip that in place, and then drop that back down. Then we need D7. And we need D10. Those two. I'm nearly done with sprue D. The rest of the parts on there, looking at them, are for the waste unit. Done. It's weird, I've built so many unicorn variants of various sizes now, I am just starting to, at least for the armour parts, I'm just identifying stuff on the sprue by sight as to what it's actually going to be, involved in. Right, so 6, 7, 'Slightly the wrong order, but I don't think it matters. Right, so this then fits on like so, and we have the usual expansion function. That works the same on all three. That joint works exactly the same on all three grades. that I've used on the real, the Master and Perfect Grade, that joint is identical. Right, so K13 and K14, they're going to be off this sprue K. Most of the other transformy bits are at least slightly varied between the different grades, but that one, they just worked that out once and they were like, yep, you know what, this does the job. We solved it. And they're not wrong, it works very well that way. Right, so this goes like so, and like so. There we go. Then the next step is that. Move for a second. It did. Right, so the next step after that is the various... Oh no, we need to... pull that out. So the next step after that is this. Which just goes on like so. There we go. Then this fits itself into place like so. That closes up. This clips back into position like that. Is right. That is 2 completed legs, which is frankly a little further than I expected to get today. I'm incredibly pleased with that. I'm incredibly pleased with that result. Ooh, I've gone blurry again. That's better. So yeah. Two legs. I guess we can look a little bit at the transformy nature of these. Those little bits tilt out. Actually, I wonder if we do this and then that. No. So it does only go out that far. So obviously we've got the, as mentioned, we have the usual expansion here. The question becomes, so this will pop out like so. Ah, there it is. So there's the knee transformation there. say, we've got these little fins here, and then on top of that we have the oh yes, so this pulls forward, and that is presumably then what permits this expansion on both sides. Like so. And then we get to do this. And this, and come on. One more. There it is. There we go. I think that that's all of the transformy bits. Oh. Plus of course switching to high heel mode. I didn't really know how much extra they were gonna, how much more transformation stuff they were gonna put in this, but these extra stuff on the legs is just ridiculous. But yeah, so there we go. That's your that's the transformation. So we can fold these little petal things back in. And then these close back up. Then that goes back in. We can drop that back inside there, close that up like so. Fold that back up. Close those and drop that together. And there we go. Yeah, you can probably fit an HG in there. I mean, we can just we can just put the real grade unicorn here to make it feel, you know, to give it a sense of inadequacy, like so. And yes. Put that back out of the way over there. I think this is I think this is a pretty substantial win for the day. And I'm going to call the stream there, because I don't think there's really any likelihood that we're going to get any further today with anything. So I'm going to put these out of the way where I can't hurt them, and yeah, we will call the stream there. Next stream will well, yeah, either way round, where they can't do any harm, where they can no longer cause any trouble. But yeah, so we've got those. We have the torso. The next step, I suspect. Let's examine what the next step is actually, because that's a good question. What is the next step? So, the next step is to build the waist unit, which is kind of what I expected. I'm going to put the waist unit together. It's only a couple of pages worth. Then there's a big pile of... We've got a big pile of lighting funkiness to go there, and then we're going to connect up the legs to the waist units and to the torso and mount them onto the base, which is where the power comes from. And at that point we can see some we can do some lighting tests. So that's next up. I'm looking forward to that. That seems like it should be a thing I attempt to do on stream. I make no promises about that, but it feels like something that I should attempt to do on stream. The first connection of lights up so we can see what's going on. But for the moment, I'm going to call it a night here. Thank you all for your company. It's been most welcome. I hope that's been at least a little bit entertaining or edifying as to how these perfect grades gradually turn into something that's recognisable as Gundams. Yeah, it's shitty. It's not logistical issues. It's whether I can actually resist just building it between now and the next time I stream. It's pure selfishness. It's absolutely doable on stream. I mean, the base is already built. Here is the base. I can just about get it on there without punching a hole in my monitor. And this has the cable that goes up the back. And inside here is the battery pack. The RG on the base, huh? Okay. There you go. How's that for you? Is that what you were looking for? So it could be up here somewhere. But yeah, the base was actually the very first part of the build. That is, the base is page 1. So it will all slot onto there. And then we can, I guess what happens is once we got the waist and the legs on there, it all sits on there, and we'll just continue attaching extra bits to the base as we to the whole thing as we go at that point. Anyway, I really am going to go because it's 5 to 11 and I've been streaming for nearly 4 hours. So everybody have a fabulous evening, and I will see you in the future. It's been nice to have your company, Shitty. I'll drop you a line about wrestling stuff. See if we can work out ourselves a time slot to do some stuff. Right. Thanks everyone. Have a fabulous weekend. Just realised we haven't raided anybody. Should raid somebody. Let's. Who is doing things? Iron-Blooded Raven is doing things. Have I got that spelt correctly? Iron-Blooded Raven. Have I spelled that right? I have. Right. A message in mind. I don't know. Say hi. And yeah. He's a good dude. Let's see what he's doing. Right. Raiding very shortly. And raid.